Alright everyone, welcome back. This is Vaipo. I'm back with another League of Legends cast for you guys. This is my 6th cast, and so far so good, getting some nice positive feedback actually, by mail actually, unfortunately, not anything public. Still trying to get some extra viewers in from the forums, of course, of League of Legends, but I was going a bit slowly, even though I did get quite a lot of subscribers over the last few days compared to what I used to get per day. So without further ado, let's get into this game. We have on the blue team, we have Udyr, Anivia, Blitzcrank, Shen and Graves. On the purple team we have Nautilus, Teemo, Tarek, Ziggs and Corki. So don't think anything's gonna happen here anyways, but let's just start the game up. Let's go. So we have Anivia versus Ziggs in the middle, and I actually have been fighting Ziggs recently quite a lot, so I do know a bit more about him now. And he is quite irritating actually, especially with his ultimate. Actually, we do have a gank incoming here already from the very start. Anivia is going to put up that wall, of course, to try to get away, but I don't think she can get away. Oh, look at that. She does flash over the wall, but they are going to hit her down here. Nautilus is actually going to give her the kill. And oh, that was actually a big mistake there. Nautilus should not have moved away from that egg, because Ziggs was forced, unfortunately, to flash over that wall to pick up that first blood. Of course, he did still pick up the first blood, but he shouldn't have had to waste his flash for that. So Nautilus must be kicking himself in the face right now, but I suppose seeing as Ziggs is going to be ahead now, he's going to be quite safe for most of the time. Now in the bottom we have Graves and Blitzcrank versus Corki and Tarek. Blitzcrank, I gotta admit I hate Blitzcrank at bottom. Nah, not on my team of course. I hate fighting against him because, you know, if he pulls you at the wrong moment, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill. It's very difficult to get away after that stage, especially with the fact that Blitzcrank does quite a bit of damage as well. Actually, Nautilus sitting here in the bush, I'm not quite sure if they're going to try to pick off Shen here, but Shen is very tanky, especially early game. He's very difficult to kill, as well as having some stain. And whoa, if I was Nautilus here, I would have ended up just nuking the shit out of him. And I believe he is going to try to jump over this wall, but nope, gets that kill. But Nautilus doing very well so far, picking up 2 kills, well, rather picking up 1 and giving the other one to Ziggs in middle, and doing very well compared to this Udyr. This Udyr doesn't seem to be doing anything right now. I'm not sure if maybe I missed a gank down here, but I mean, that Udyr is just not helping enough from what I see. And Nautilus actually invading here again. They might try to pick off Anivia again, but that wall is going to prevent him from ganking properly. So Nautilus is going to go back to jungle while Udyr just farms. Yeah. So let's quickly have a look at the minion kills down at the bottom here. This is the very important deciding factor of the game, late game, if the game lasts that long. Graves at 50 minion kills compared to Corki's 39 actually, and finally looks like Udyr is going to make a gank, but no, he's not, because he is being spotted here by this ward. A very well placed ward by Ziggs, I believe actually, and it is going to prevent that gank. Ziggs is staying very safe. He has wards on, no, not on both sides actually. There is one here, but I'm not sure if this would 100% prevent all ganks. It could probably sneak from this side, but maybe perhaps not. Anivia, of course, being very poor at efficiency with mana, is going to have to go back, probably get that catalyst or tier. Yeah, she goes for the tier, of course. My mistake. Archangel staff is very important for Anivia, just purely because Anivia is very mana hungry. Even though they did buff her a little bit by reducing the mana costs, she still is very hungry on mana. So getting that tier of the goddess early on is very important. Now we are getting a ping at bottom, which means that actually purple team was pinging the bottom. I'm not quite sure why, but perhaps they were pinging to show that Blitzcrank is there. And with that ward, Blitzcrank is not going to be able to do anything in that bush anymore, because he will be visible all the time. Now I haven't actually done a cast for about 2 days now, because I've had a bit of a problem with my computer. Something happened and I'm not quite sure what was going on, but unfortunately I couldn't really do anything. I had to reinstall my Windows and, you know, everything on me, on the game, and you can imagine how many games I had and all the stuff that I had to reinstall. Luckily I was able to back up all my stuff, because it wasn't the kind of problem where, you know, I can't even turn on the computer. It was just the kind of problem where nothing worked, but I was able to access my hard drive and recover everything, so yeah. So I am back with a cast. I might be a bit rusty because I haven't done this in about 2 or 3 days now. But 5 was uploaded recently, and hopefully people enjoyed it anyways. Now, unfortunately the forums is not liking my my casts too much. I'm getting a -5 vote, even though I do some of those have been pluses. Actually, Nautilus is getting spotted here, but is going to be a very dangerous gank. Or he could actually get counter-ganked here with Blitzcrank getting very aggressive, even though he is quite alone here with 3 people on the other side of this wall. And Graves, of course, with his short range would not actually reach that. And everyone is just going to head back now after, you know, not wanting to give away too many kills. Of course, you always want to stay safe when it comes to Blitzcrank, because you never know when that armor is going to come out, grab you, and just shit all over you. So Nautilus is going to try to be aggressive here again. I'm not quite sure why he's coming down here. He's going to be spotted straight away. Or yeah, he is going to wait until these minions are killed so that he can actually go into the... No, he's going to get spotted anyways. But Graves is probably going to get picked off here if they do manage to pull him, and they do. Let's see if they can do enough damage. Corky is probably going to pick this up here. Yes, he is. Although the turret could pick off Nautilus if that ignite ticks a few more times, which it does not. So just about getting away there. It was a successful gank. He did get spotted quite early actually. I'm pretty sure one of these minions would have been able to see him from here. Actually, I better learn these hotkeys. Blue and purple are F1 and F2. Gonna know that for the future anyways. So Teemo is a very interesting topic actually, since they buffed him quite a lot lately. Not a buff, but rather a fix, because his poisons were not working properly. But hopefully, like, I actually personally really enjoyed playing Teemo. He was very fun, because you know, firstly he's funny, like he has all these weird emotes, even though he doesn't really get killed here. And secondly, it's just a cool concept of mushrooms and, you know, exploding things. And yeah, he does get killed off, of course, here with a very successful gank. 2 tanks, but Teemo is very squishy, so he is easy to pick off. But Teemo got a nice buff recently, which fixed the poison ticks. Because before, if his attack speed was over 1, or I think it was even less that it needed to bug it out, about 1.9 or something, 0.9, sorry, then it just would not tick. You know, when he applies the poison, it not only does the on-hit effect, it also ticks every something like a second or every 2 seconds or something like that. And actually I could check that right now. Teemo is here, so a quick read. Each second for 4 seconds, yeah. And if his attack speed was too quick, that tick would not even happen, which means that he was losing quite a bit of damage, like 45 damage per second multiplied by 4, which is, you know, 180 damage. Is quite a lot of damage for 4 seconds. And I mean, you could end up cutting this out every 4 seconds of auto hitting that you do. And that did kind of hurt Teemo very badly. He wasn't viable, he was too squishy. But I guess they fixed that now, so hopefully more people will start playing him. Maybe in ranked teams as well. Obviously this is a ranked game, it's a solo queue ranked game, but you never know, maybe in pre-mates he will become viable too. Not just for the lulz, but for actual high rated games. So Udyr is coming down here, and he does not actually get spotted because there, or maybe he does, they did see him somehow using this ward, I guess. Yeah, my mistake for not spotting that. But staying safe, this Tarek doing a very good job at warding actually from both sides. And he does also have a pink ward here for whenever he wants to pick off an enemy ward, which he's probably going to put someone near Dragon next after his one runs out. Actually, this one is going to run out. Oh, that's actually a weird thing Riot should probably address, that you cannot see ward time durations. Oh, maybe you can. My mistake. But it should be here as just like it is in real games. It would be much better, I think. But I do believe that that ward is going to be placed down here as soon as the other one runs out. Of course, Nautilus gives the blue buff to Ziggs, which nothing new here. Although I haven't seen a Nivea getting blue buff. Probably because I'm just being an idiot and not noticing it. I love the amount of mushrooms actually down here, especially the Super Teemo mushrooms. This is probably for counter ganking right now, or counter jungling. Either that or he wants to push and he's just staying safe, which is probably a very good idea for him right now actually, because he doesn't really want to get picked off while pushing this lane, whereas he does actually want to push the lane because he is quite a bit ahead on minion farm, and it would help him greatly to shut down Shen's farm. Shen, while being controversially OP since ever actually, even though he did get loads of nerfs, and who knows how many he will still get. Oh, that Nautilus. Well, rather that Ziggs doing so much damage actually. Ziggs going onto Graves here. I'm not quite sure if he'll pick him off. I don't think he will, but he could actually. Look, he's one more hit and he would have died, but I'm not gonna get that off unfortunately for him. So talking about Shen again, Shen has always been kind of considered overpowered. He's in ranked games, he's actually banned 90% of the time. Luckily they didn't ban him here, and I believe one of the maybe the first player actually picked him off, or picked him just to give it to another player. But Shen, with his ultimate and his survival, like Shen has a huge amount of survival, and late game he becomes very, very high on damage as well. When you have a lot of health with Shen, your passive, which I'm going to read out right now, every 8 seconds Shen's next basic attack restores 20 energy and deals 70 plus 10% of Shen's bonus health, which you can imagine if you have about 3000 bonus health, that's 300 damage. That is a crazy amount of damage to have. Actually, Blitzcrank killing off Tarek here, I did miss it, but I'm guessing it was just a pull, which, you know, Blitzcrank is kind of known for. I'm gonna go back up here just to watch this, because I do believe that this team is going to push this tower like crazy, even though I'm not quite sure if that is a good idea. He could get quite a lot more farm out of this, because Shen is a lot behind, and Shen doesn't particularly do scale as well as Teemo does in terms of damage. He does of course get all the survival, which everyone complains about with Shen, but he doesn't do quite as much damage, or rather anywhere near as much damage. Teemo actually getting very, very careless here. He shouldn't perhaps be going here. He does make that little noise, which is pretty awesome. Very lucky actually escape there. He didn't get taunted by Shen, but if he did, he could have been picked off by this Udyr as well, especially with the red buff. He would not be able to escape. Udyr probably going to run into this red mushroom here, or did just run into one here and getting slowed. Teemo staying safe, of course, re-mushrooming everywhere. Would be very unlucky to actually, you know, miss somebody with these amount of mushrooms. So this Teemo obviously very experienced. I am missing quite a lot of kills. I'm actually going to go back for this one because there was a trade of 2 kills right here, and I do want to see them. For those unaware, backspace pulls you back 15 seconds. So yeah, this is what I missed. Absolute annihilation, and the tower picking up Blitzcrank actually at the same time. Actually Nautilus pulling his ult onto Nivea, grabbing both Udyr and Nivea, and Tarek of course is going to get picked off here using Shen's ultimate. Shen picking up that kill, of course. I would have probably given it to Nivea, but Nivea had no mana, which means she probably wouldn't do enough damage before that Tarek would have escaped. Now Nautilus is going to just stand around here, pretend to be important, even though he is not very important. Is warding, probably preparing for the next dragon. I do believe the next dragon is going to be in about 30 seconds, and this is something a lot of people don't unfortunately do. They don't prepare for a dragon. They don't even remember when the next dragon is, and is the reason why a lot of people consider themselves good and they actually are not, because they do not ward for the dragon, they don't ward for the Baron. I've seen countless teams, even on my own team, trying to pull off a quick Baron kill while you know, having no wards up in the enemy jungle. And this of course can cause you a lot of problems. I mean, it can get you killed, and I mean, if if you're trying to kill Baron and you don't have enough damage to kill him in like 3 seconds, of course that's not going to happen, because that's just impossible. Teemo getting having a very difficult time up here actually against that Shen. Shen really is getting too tanky, but with this Baron, every time you try to kill it, somebody is very likely to spot you, and if they do spot you, you're very vulnerable to a counter Baron kill, because the Baron does area of effects damage. He hits usually 3 or 4 units at the same time, especially if you're clumped up, and if somebody tries to kill you while you're doing Baron, if Baron is already like halfway down, then chances are half your team is very low on health, which means that if the enemy team comes in mass number, like the whole 5 of them come, they could easily pick off your team and then also steal the Baron, which you can just imagine how much gold would go towards the enemy team that way. So let's have a quick look at the bottom. Graves at 0-1 with 168 million kills. Corki at 103 with 160, meaning he is a kill and about 2 assists ahead of Graves. Going to be quite a big help. They are coming down here, but I don't believe that it's going to do anything, especially seeing as they did get spotted. That Udyr is going to be going back to jungle, while Nautilus, I'm not quite sure what Nautilus is actually doing right now. He could have came down here, and I don't remember when the next dragon is actually, to be honest. But either ways, it will get spotted here as soon as they go into it, because the ward is not placed here, which means Nautilus will see it as soon as they start it, but this will also alert the blue team that they want to do a dragon. And actually Ziggs coming in here as well. He is going to probably try to gank here, although they have been probably spotted. I'm not quite sure if Nautilus passed very close to this bit here and got spotted or not, but he is getting spotted right now, and he is going to get some damage. He's probably going to flash over the wall or just plainly run. I'm not quite sure. No, they're both a support and a tank. They're not going to be able to pull off enough damage to actually kill either of them here. Although they did get Graves pretty low, but that's of course tank burst. It's very common to have this, and it's probably the reason why tanky DPS are so dominant right now, because they have enough burst to get an AD carry about 3/4 of the way down, and then only a few more auto hits will actually kill the AD carry. Before late game, that is very deadly, of course. I don't believe that Anivia is going to get killed here, purely because Anivia gets a bit tanky later on, especially with the Rod of Ages and Shen's ult coming in to save her ass. But they are going to try it once more, I believe, maybe with a stun, maybe with a Nautilus grab, I'm not quite sure, but Shen did just back off, which means he cannot come back again. But I do believe that they probably did just get spotted. Yeah, they are getting pings to back off. I'm not quite sure which team, because oh, look at that, the dragon is actually just about up. The purple team is pinging it to show that it's up, but Nautilus is going to spot this ward and decides to back off, because it is going to be a bit risky. They're all going to come down here now and try to contest this dragon. But they are doing some damage to it. Corki is going to, of course, do the most of it, but they are pulling the dragon away so that they don't steal it. And going to be quite a relatively easy dragon for them, with a wasted ward also. I don't believe that ward is going to be of any use right now, unless somebody walks literally right outside the Baron. The dragon area. Actually, Teemo trying to take on Shen. I'm not quite sure if he's going to be able to take him on, but it does look like he is going to take him on 1 versus 1. At least the poisons might kill him. Wow. No, and look at that. Actually, those poisons are not killing off Shen, and this just shows you the power of Shen and why he is such a popular ban right now, because he does too much damage and he has too much health. I mean, Shen has quite a lot of health actually, considering he's a tank. He has a lot of health just from leveling up, and considering that Teemo could not actually take him on 1 versus 1, and he is full attack damage, or full damage rather. Like, it just kind of makes me question Riot's decision on making tanks so overpowered. I believe that tanks should have very low damage until they are like anybody who's classed as a tank in the tags should have a very low damage until they build AD, but have better scaling. So if perhaps when they build maybe 2 tanky items, then they'll be very tanky, but they would need, for example, a BF sword or something to actually be able to do as much damage as they do right now, because they simply do too much of it, and I think that is a bit unfortunate in terms of how the metagame is playing right now. Because looking at these teams right now, we're going to have a quick evaluation of the chances of each team's chances of winning, basically. On the blue team we have Udyr, a fairly tanky champion, especially if he builds a bit of defensive items. It is going to make him very tanky. They're going to do quite a lot of engaging here, and that 6 ult did quite a lot of damage. They might pick off Udyr here, although he does flash away, saving his ass, and Nivea is getting ulted by Shen, which means she's going to be safe, even though Ziggs no longer has his ult, which means it's not going to be able to do anything to him. But anyways, back to the topic of tanky champions. On the blue team we did have Udyr. Udyr is fairly tanky. Looking at him right now, he has 107 armor with only 1 armor item, and that is very high actually, considering, you know, him being a tanky champion. He also has almost 1.9 health at only level 11. Whereas Nivea, she's not very tanky, but she is quite a bit tanky as well, considering the Rod of Ages, which she already has. She does have 2000 health compared to Udyr's 1.9, even though she is a lot higher level. But yeah, I guess she's not very tanky. She's very low health, but then again, if you think about the fact that she has her egg, it does kind of technically mean that she almost has double the life. I know she has less resistances, while wait, she has more. Okay, that's strange. I thought maybe that was a recent buff or something, I'm not quite sure, but yeah, that does mean that she has double the health almost, because she can't really move while the egg is there. But she's not very easy to burst down either ways, because if you burst her down, you're going to miss a lot of damage on other enemies. Looking at Blitzcrank, Blitzcrank is obviously a tank. He does have his passive shield, which procs when he drops below a certain percentage of health. I have no idea what it is. It is 20% health. So obviously Blitz is a tank. Shen, there's no question about that. Obviously probably one of the best tanks right now, considering that taunt and the amount of damage he does. Graves is actually the tankiest AD carry in the game. He does have that passive which gives him more defense, more armor and magic resist per second of being in combat. And obviously there is a cap on this, but it still is quite a lot, considering, you know, he's an AD carry. Compared that to the other team, Nautilus is a tank, yes. Teemo is very squishy. He does have quite a lot of defensive items, actually giving him armor, magic resist and health, but the amount of damage he had to sacrifice for that is actually quite heavy. Tarek is a tank, but he's also support. You have to build him quite tanky to make him any bit useful as a tank, although he does have the armor from passive. Ziggs is quite tanky also, especially considering the way he's built, with 2 Doran's rings is going to give him a nice bit of health. He does have a lot of armor, but not much magic resist, seeing as he is a mage. But mages are obliged to actually build a bit of health these days, and that's just, you know, trying to build up to the meta game of bruisers. Corki, of course, being an AD carry, not very tanky. But then look at this now. Udyr, Nivea, Blitzcrank, Shen and Graves, all tanky enough. Nivea is tanky because she has that Rod of Ages, and that just basically, you know, makes her automatically tanky. I mean, she's building tanky to prevent other people from bursting her down. So that's 5 champions which have some sort of tankiness about them. Even the purple team, looking at Nautilus, Tarek, Ziggs. Ziggs is not building very much health, but he's still building a bit of it, just purely because he doesn't want to get bursted down straight away. There's 3 of them, and Teemo is also being fairly tanky with the items that he's building. So 4 of them having extra damage, or sorry, extra health / defenses. So you can just imagine, like, if Riot removed some damage from bruisers, then it would just change the whole meta of having so many bruisers on the team. Now, I know I'm babbling about this quite a lot now, but I don't know, I think this has been around for quite long and it has been a big problem.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
So, Dragon is being pinged. They do notice that it's here, although blue team is first to arrive, and I'm not quite sure this is a good idea, seeing as there is a ward here, but blue team is going to jump in here straight away. Perhaps not, actually. Sorry, purple team.
Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, they're gonna wait a little bit because they see that it's only Udyr doing any damage here, but seeing as they are gonna spot using this blue ward that Udyr is here, they are gonna try to invade this dragon. I'm not quite sure if they would want to give this dragon up right now. They are going to ignore it and start doing damage to each other instead. Actually, Timo is about to get picked off here. Blitzcrank getting killed straight away. Focused as a tank, not a very good idea, but it did pay off. Actually, look at that. Nautilus getting a bit too greedy here, getting killed off by all three of these guys here. And I believe that's going to be the end of this. I don't think anybody's going to contest Dragon right now, because it is going to be quite risky. And look at that, Tarek actually getting caught by Anivia. Very, very well played, I must say. Putting that ice wall right at the end of the bush. And actually they do pick up that dragon very quickly. I believe that the blue team thought that they wouldn't even try it because they were all pretty low health, but they did pull it off very quickly. So as usual, Shen being quite annoying here. No, you can't push Shen out of the lane, he's just too sustainable. Corki coming in here. I could just imagine this Corki getting like 3-shotted by Shen right now. Maybe not 3-shotted, but 3 key strike charges and he'd be dead easily. They are pinging to come to this bush, and I do believe they're trying to set up a bit of a gang here. You know the way you can sit in the bush with 5 people, and then as soon as one person runs by, you throw literally everything at him just to secure that kill, and then somebody complains KS, KS, and you're like, that stands for kill secured, motherfucker. So I believe that's what they're going to try to do here, at least maybe with Blitz and Graves, or maybe they're going to try for Baron. I don't think that is a very good idea. They're all pretty low level, and I don't believe that they're going to be able to pull this off. They did ward, although yeah, they're going to put a ward next to Baron and perhaps back off, because I just think it's a bit too early to pull off a Baron kill right now, especially considering the fact that they don't have anybody like Warwick to tank it very efficiently. Udyr can do a pretty good job at it, but I still wouldn't try it right now. Tarek is walking around, putting wards everywhere. Udyr is gonna pick it off straight away. And I do believe that they're just gonna place another one there, and that is gonna be pretty annoying. What they did force an engage, Blitzcrank is probably gonna get picked off there very quickly, with Shen actually ulting him, preventing that kill. Nautilus is gonna drop straight away because everyone just jumps on Nautilus and works as a tank. Shen is barely surviving, with Teemo's poison actually killing him. Actually made Teemo pick up 2 kills, he does, and then Anivia kills him, unfortunately for him. I just can't imagine the amount of assists that people just got is just crazy. Just both kills there just had 4 assists on each of them. So that does give quite a nice engage for both teams. Actually, it was a 2 for 2 with both tanks dying on the blue team, and a tank and a DPSer dying on the purple team. Actually, I believe that Anivia might pick off this. I don't see why she didn't use any of her other skills, to be honest. She just ulted him, and she did have full mana. That was quite a strange thing. I'm not quite sure what Anivia did right there, but that wasn't a very good harassment that she did towards Corki. The game is turning a little bit passive right now, and if I had to guess what team wins, now I haven't previewed this game of course, but if I had to guess right now who's gonna win this team, I would probably give it to the purple team, purely because they have Teemo and Corki, which both are gonna do a crazy amount of damage later on. They do also have a support, which is gonna be quite nice for the heals, for the sustain, but although then again they are a little bit behind in terms of kills, but not quite towards gold. They do pick off Timo here actually, unless he flashes over the wall, but no, he's not going to have enough time. I do believe he already got stunned, silenced, DPS down, etc., which does quite happen, often quite happen. Oh my god, I can't speak English. Does happen quite often these days, seeing as the amount of CC that is added to this game every time a new champion comes out, especially with Varus. I mean, his ultimate is probably the single best CC around the place right now, slowing down practically every single person in the enemy team in a team fight. It's quite crazy. I do believe it is a little bit overpowered. But I do have a feeling that Varus is going to get a bit nerfed. I don't really believe that he should be able to do so much damage, especially with his Q. His Q does way too much damage with the amount of AD that he has. They are going to actually try for a quick Baron here. There is no ward to detect this, even though I do believe the ward is going to be placed straight away. And that Blitzcrank actually just missing the Tarek, and what's going on here to try to steal Baron, failing miserably unfortunately. And Purple team is going to back off while they have very low health. And probably not going to kill Shen here. Shen is just too damn tanky. Like right now I believe that Shen could probably... let's see how much his bonus is actually. 10% of Shen's bonus health right now is only 98 damage, but he does do about 200 damage with key strike every single time, which is pretty crazy. Purple team is falling behind now a little bit. Blue team is catching up on gold, and they're quite a bit. Well, actually, sorry, I better kind of make sure I'm talking correctly here. But no, actually, both teams are very even on turret kills. The blue team is going to pick up the dragon here, actually, as well as having the Baron already, which means... Oh, they didn't pick it up yet. Thought they did, but they are going to catch up on gold very quickly, actually. I'm not quite sure what's going on right now. I do believe that blue team is going to try to be a little bit aggressive after they start pushing the lanes a little bit, which is already kind of halfway there. The top lane is even, bottom lane is getting pushed quite a little bit, about 2/3 of the way there, and mid lane is, as usual, right in the middle. So Ziggs is... Wow, he actually has quite a lot of AP right now. Let's compare him to Nivea. He has over 100 AP higher than Nivea, which, considering Nivea does have Baron buff, I do believe she has about 380 AP. You know, she did just go pure tanky. Having that Hourglass as well as Rod of Ages and also Mercury Treads is going to mean that she's going to be very difficult to kill, especially with the second egg. The first egg, sorry, that she has. Ziggs, on the other hand, is very, very squishy right now. He does have 91 magic resist, but having only 71 armor is going to make him very, very vulnerable to Graves, Shen and Udyr. So we're going to have a bit of a contested moment here right now. I'm not quite sure what they're going to try to do here, but it does look like Blitzcrank is trying to set up for a grab, and this is going to be quite an interesting engage here. Messed up grab by Blitzcrank actually, but I do believe they're both very nervous, because whoever wins the next team fight, if it's going to be a clear win, then they could end up even finishing the game, not just pushing towards the lane, because most people are level 18 now, most of them anyways, and you know, when you're level 18 you could pretty much push 1 turret, 2 turrets, inhibitor, and then push the 2 base turrets, or the 2 Nexus turrets actually, and end the game. So this is going to be a very tense moment for both teams. I'm not quite sure how they're going to engage this fully. I do believe that Blitzcrank is going to make one good pull, and then that's just going to spell disaster for one of them. And then it could turn around, it could not, I'm not quite sure. But we'll see that Shen is actually going back to the top. He is going to try to force them to split up, because Shen can at any time jump into the team fight, which is probably one of the reasons why he is considered OP, because he could be pushing one lane and he's still counted as having 5 people right here, just purely because they have Shen's ultimate to rely on. Actually, Shen is coming back a little bit after seeing that Corki is going to go and interrupt him, and Shen is getting picked off here. He did get actually closed off by Nivea's... Whoa, that was probably a big mistake by Nivea. and purple team is going to be in a very dominant position right now, especially if they can slow down one of these guys. Nautilus is going to flash over the wall, grabbing Udyr straight away, and Udyr is probably going to go down here. He's going to get slowed down all day long right now. And there's Udyr getting killed. Although Graves might pick off Corki actually, and never mind, he could actually kill off all of them. Corki. Oh, especially with that heal, yeah, Graves is just crazy tanky right now. Looking at his defense, 121 armor, and I was just speechless there. I'm sorry, I could not say anything. That was an unbelievable amount of damage coming in from Graves, and he's just not going to risk moving anymore. He knows that if he steps onto one more mushroom, he will die. So that's pretty much it. That was a very good engage for purple, although they did overextend a little bit, and Graves did kind of make that worthwhile pushing that mid turret. And I'm kind of out of breath here. I'm very out of practice. God, you have to do this stuff every day in order to stay in vocal shape, if you want to put it that way. I swear, it's as if you're like an athlete and you try to talk a little bit after not talking a lot for 2 days, and it's like exhausting. So again, after, you know, ending a big team fight with both teams kind of screwing up really, it's going to get very, very passive right now, and I'm going to speed it up because otherwise we're just going to be very, very bored out of our minds right now, looking at absolutely nothing. And we are actually going to have a bit of contest here. I do believe it might be because of an upcoming dragon, and perhaps not. Let's speed it up again. Just imagine one of those I can't even remember how they even call them, but you know, those music where it's very, very fast paced. And I do believe they might try pull off Baron here, even though he did just ward it, which means they aren't planning on killing the Baron. They plan on counter ganking it if the purple team tries anything. Purple team pinging Baron, blue team pinging bottom turret. So let's see what happens. If blue team does go towards the bottom turret, the purple team could try to pick off a Baron, and would probably be a worthy trade for the purple team, because Baron is definitely worth more than a turret, because with Baron buff you could probably end up pushing about 2 or 3 turrets if you're, you know, very quick. Let's crank getting caught here like crazy. They are getting a lot of really nice engages here with those bombs. Ziggs always causing a lot of damage, pushing people back. Let's crank should not have tried to come back here. Graves is going to ult, and there we go, Ziggs with his long artillery range. I actually have to try Ziggs, he seems to be doing quite well right now. Very nice scaling, and I believe he's free, so I probably should be trying him right now as we speak, instead of making this quite failed cast. I'm not quite sure if this is going to be of any interest to people, because I'm a bit out of practice, and it's late, so I can't really shout, you know, when something exciting is happening. Corki getting quite a lot of feed here at bottom. Let's actually look at his items quickly. Corki does have his Infinity Edge, he has the Last Whisper, and he does a Phantom Dancer. And I believe next he's probably going, yeah, there you go, a Guardian Angel. I was just thinking about that. And lastly, he's probably going to get that Bloodthirster. Let's look at Graves. Graves is very, very similar actually. Except for he already has his Bloodthirster, and I do believe he will probably pick up a Guardian Angel or something with health. But a Guardian Angel would probably be a very good item to prevent a burst onto him. And you do see this build built quite a lot, you know, in this current metagame, because it's just so dominant. You cannot beat this team or this build in any form of way, unless some AD carries can get away with 2 Bloodthirsters, which makes them insanely sustainable. But I really don't think that either team is going to be trying for a Baron right now. It is a bit too dangerous, and they know that there's wards everywhere, even though purple team is actually going to engage here, and this might be a very, very difficult time to pull off a Baron, especially considering there was a ward down there, and they did see that they are interested in this, so this is going to be very, very difficult for them now. And Udyr, of course, picking up all the mushrooms. He knows that they're all here, so he's going to put up his shields and just try to walk into them. Let's look at this from a point of view of one team. How does this exactly look? They only see Nautilus every time, it's coming out like a big giant armored creature, just stepping out of the bushes every time. They do pick up Tarek, but Tarek is not actually going to go down, of course, because he does have that self-heal as well as the flash to get away. And again, this is going to be a very tense moment for them, for both teams, because they're not going to be sure how to engage this. You know, if you engage this very incorrectly, you could end up losing the game very, very quickly. And Blitzcrank is going to try to pick up Tarek, of course, being more squishy, but yeah. So far so good for both teams actually. They are quite even on both kills and gold, and this is probably the closest match I've seen so far. I mean, the amount of goal difference right now is actually crazy. I mean, look, 6.8, 63.8 to 65.8, it's only 2,000 gold at this stage in the game, and 1 kill difference. That is actually crazy. And the sword, of course, is going to get spotted. They are going to get spotted trying to do a dragon, or a baron rather, and unnecessary damage here from Teemo. Actually, he shouldn't have attacked that baron, taken an extra 2 hits from him. And every little helps. I have survived team fights with like 1 or 2 health. It's actually crazy how many times you get that. So taking those extra few hits might seem very unimportant, but I mean, it can cause a lot of problems. Both teams, of course, being very, very careful right now. They do probably signal each other to engage, because Blitzcrank did activate his Shirelia's Reverie, and this is going to be very, very dangerous right now. Oh, that was a nice pickup here actually. Graves getting picked up by Nautilus, and everything just goes kaboom. I'm going to slow this down like crazy. Look at that. Corky just actually killing both tanks here. Graves does pick up Nautilus, and I am going to pause the video right here. What do we have here? We have... there's too much noise right now, stop. There we go. Obviously Tarek is about to get killed. Blitzcrank is about to grab either Corky or Ziggs behind him, most likely Corky, and Corky is going to get killed straight away by Graves, and this is going to be a very, very horrible ending for purple team, unless of course I call this completely wrong and it goes the other way around, with Corky actually picking off 4 people in a row, and I do believe they're going to try to chase down the Sinivia because she just can't do anything. And that was a horrible, horrible prediction by me, and I guess I just didn't see how much damage was about to be pulled onto Blitzcrank. And of course they are just spam pinging this top turret because it is so pushed. I do believe one of them might also try to push the bottom turret, and Anivia is going to be safe to go home. But I do believe they are going to take an inhibitor here, and that is going to be quite difficult to defend for the blue team. Although Anivia is going to push back Ziggs here, because Ziggs is not going to be able to survive against this Anivia, and if he stays he is going to die and just give away all advantages that they have.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
But looking at it right now, purple team is ahead. They do have 2 of the turrets, which means 1 back door could already take out 2 inhibitor turrets. They do lose another turret down here, which means this one is going to start getting pushed back. Of course, with the whole team respawning, blue team is pinging Baron in case purple team tries it. Blue team is on a defensive right now, but they are of course not out of this game yet. Actually, Udyr is going to try to rush this. I'm not quite sure if this is a good idea, because all of them are going to be coming here, and there is a ward right now. Udyr is not going to be able to do anything about the ward, and Baron is going to get picked off here. Blue team actually picks it up very quickly before purple team is able to engage, but of course purple team is going to start nuking down people, which is going to be a lot of problem. And this is what I mean by counter ganking or ganking a Baron kill. You see, blue team got a bit careless. They rushed that Baron, and it's probably going to cost them the game right now, because purple team caught them when they were low on health. The only one that was fairly nice on health was Udyr, but he did of course get killed because he got stuck inside that Baron room. And now we're just gonna have, you know, lots and lots of kills. There you go. They almost have an ace. Anivia is gonna somehow survive, because I just don't think they care about her. They just want to push down 2 inhibitors and probably at least take down 1 of these towers before Anivia does force them back. You know, no, she's probably not going to be able to push them back now anyways. There is 4 of them here. They're just going to ignore her or nuke her down, and they're going to do it in like 2 seconds anyways, especially with Nautilus taking out a turret, or tanking turret rather. There they go. And that's it, that's GG. unfortunately for the blue team, that was a very poor judgment to go into that Baron, and it did cost them the fight, so that's pretty much it.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Yeah, as usual guys, I'm sorry for, I know I probably messed up a lot in this commentary. I will try to improve and do a better one tomorrow for cast number 7. This is Vaipo and I'm out, and again I'm sorry again if any of my settings are messed up, because I did have to reinstall everything, so my mic settings might not be perfect, and yeah, that's it. That's all I can say. So thanks for watching guys. Thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever you want to do. Like the video, preferably. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, and if you want to see more of these. And that's it. I'm Vaipo and I'm out.